Hey everyone, welcome to Sportsbet Daily on oddsmarket.com. It's La Liga, Bundesliga and Serie A. And we've got coming up this week, Premier League punters, UFC and the US Open started yesterday. And we'll have Sneeze and James, Jason and Dave all going through the relevant sports. But it's La Liga. La Liga means one thing, the big hitting, bookie bashing number one with his 1.4 banker last week.
Hey, you gave me some banter with that pick, but guess what? We won. I give you value. Maybe it's not a big investment, but hey, you won, I win, everybody's happy. So what do you think about that, Flash?
Listen, I can't believe it. I saw him in McDonald's. He had fries. We're going to try and get him up to a Big Mac next week. Joining me, Martin. Martin, how are you? What about the 1.4 coming in?
It paid off.
It's unbelievable,
right?
I hope it made the viewers all very rich. I was jumping up and down when they got their equaliser. Well done, number one.
Yeah, it was close. I was nervous for a second, but hey, I was pretty sure. One pick, one win, 3 wins this week.
Exactly. Number one pick, 3 winners. Okay, Rafa, why don't we have a little look at the record with La Liga so far? Boys got off to an absolutely flying start, and it's only because number one is next to me. Few winning picks last week for you as well, Martin.
Yeah, I had a few that came off, which was pleased to see. I was surprised to see that Valencia couldn't score against Celta Vigo. Don't really rate them in defence. But yeah, I had Barcelona minus 1.5 Asian handicap, which they paid off easily. Sevilla got a second away win, which I backed as well. So pleased to see that. Yeah, I think we're getting a bit of momentum now, and hopefully we should improve as the season progresses.
Yeah, I was also disappointed with Valencia. They didn't score a goal. In fact, this season they are starting to lack in that department.
Okay, why don't we go into the first game, okay, before we wait for the record to come up at some stage. Sevilla versus Celta Vigo. Martin, what are you fancying?
Been really impressed with Sevilla this season so far. They've always been extremely strong at home, but their away record has let them down. I've backed them both weeks so far to pick up an away win, and they've pulled it off, which is great for their fans. We just mentioned that Valencia are struggling. Could be Sevilla's time to break back into the top 4 this season. After picking up 2 away wins, you really would fancy them to win at home, even if they are playing a Celta Vigo side that will be full of confidence after beating Valencia last weekend. I still think Sevilla should have just about enough about them. Got some good signings now that Monchi's back as sporting director. So I'm going to go with the classic. Sell Sevilla to win and under 4.5 goals for a bit more value there at odds of 1.95.
1.95. Number one, what
I
you
also
got?
have a pick for that game, but mine is both teams to score. Both teams have been scoring weekly. Celta Vigo against Real Madrid last weekend against Valencia. Sevilla just won last week. Thanks to the pick of Martin, I also win some money. So I'm picking both teams to score at 1.71. I do think that Sevilla is going to win, but Celta Vigo is going to give them some punches.
So there might be, if you wanted to play up on the information there, you could go Sevilla and both teams to score, and that would be a lot higher than the 1.71. But 1.71, it's a massive upgrade from your 1.4s, number one. I'm liking your style here. You calm yourself down.
I'm having some surprise here in my paper.
Yes,
just
good
wait
man,
and see.
good man. Listen, give me a bit of I need a bit of a warm-up to that sort of behaviour. Okay, let's go on then. Valencia versus Mallorca. Number one, seeing as you're on red hot form, fire away.
Well, you asking for big money? Here it is.
Ooh.
Under 2.5 goals at 2.19, 2.19. Yes, both teams have been scoring no goals. So I'm expecting a hard game, a little bit dull maybe. So I'm going for the under 2.5 at 2.19.
Do you think this could be a 0-0, 1-1?
Well, that will be awesome for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It
But you wouldn't like think that there'll be no goals. Maybe the under 1.5 as well for like, seeing as you're feeling a bit wild at the moment.
Oh no, I'm not taking that chance. I'm staying with my under 2.5. That's as enough risk to me for today.
Hey, we love that. Atletico Bilbao, Real Sociedad, Martin.
Yeah, I think Athletic Bilbao will want to build up a strong home record this season. Fascinating team. They can only sign players from the Basque region. So they lost a couple of good players in the past year. Kepa Arrizabalaga and Aymeric Laporte went to Premiership heavyweights. They haven't really been able to replace them, but they did well to keep a few key players in the summer, such as Iñaki Williams. And they did look very good in their opener at home to Barcelona. Beat them 1-0. I know Messi wasn't playing, but it was still a very composed performance. Yeah, so they drew 1-1 away at Getafe in the week, but Getafe are a good team as well nowadays. So I think they've started the season well. This is a bit of a local derby in the Basque region, so local bragging rights are going to be at stake. And I do feel that Athletic Bilbao are the stronger team, and they've got a home advantage. So I'm just going to go for the straight home win in this one, and I've got odds of 2.12.
Yeah, 2.15 was about the best you're going to get. So 2.12 is at the top of the scale. Atletico Bilbao against Real Sociedad, number 1.
Like Martin said, it's a local derby. Local derbies are hard. You never know what's going to happen. But these are nemesis. They hate each other. They had different philosophy for football, and Athletic Bilbao had a hard game against Getafe last week. I'm expecting a game with low scoring goals, so under 2.5 at 1.66.
Here we go. He's on his way back down. He'll find a 1.4, no doubt about it, but it's under 2.5, 1.66. What do you do for fun, number 1? Because at the moment we've gone under 2.5, under 2.5. You sit there wanting no goals.
Yes, I'm a dull man sometimes.
Lovely. We don't mind that.
I'm a groovy mood this week.
Good man. Good. As long as they winners, we don't mind groovy winners. Okay, let's move on. Osasuna versus champions-elect Barcelona. Barcelona not top at the moment, though. Martin, they get back to winning ways here, surely.
Oh, surely. I mean, their performance actually was very, very impressive in midweek. Betis are a good side. They spent quite a lot of money this season. And, Barcelona just blew them away. Sergio Busquets gives the ball away sometimes, but he absolutely bossed that midfield, controlled it alongside De Jong. And Griezmann looked like a great signing up front. Luis Suarez might be fearing for his place. If Messi's back as well, those two could wreak havoc. And I know Osasuna have made an unbeaten start to the season, but they are among the relegation favourites. Even on the road for Barcelona, I'd say this one should be a bit of a mismatch. They're going to want to build up a bit of momentum, broaden their lead over Real Madrid at the top of the table. So I'm going to go for it again. Paid off last week. Barcelona, minus 1.5 Asian handicap, odds of 1.9. I'd be very disappointed if Barcelona don't win this one by 2 clear goals.
Oh, any your home team, your favourite team?
I agree with Martin. I think it's a good pick on the minus 1.5, right? So you said, Martin?
1.9.
Yeah.
1.9. It is a good pick. It is a good pick. Barcelona are playing great. I'm expecting Messi to play. And Griezmann was fantastic last weekend, and especially that celebration. It was a nice touch at the end.
Okay, let's move on. Villarreal versus Real Madrid. Villarreal 4.1, the draw 4.1. Real Madrid massive at 1.91. Number 1.
I'm taking that chance.
Do you want me to finish before I ask if you're taking that chance?
Sorry, I got anxious. I'm
got
really
excited,
happy.
didn't you?
I'm getting excited with this pick. I couldn't believe it. I had to pick it.
Of course.
I had to pick it. Real Madrid needs to win. They cannot have another game with a bad score. No, they need to win. They're Real Madrid. They're one of the biggest, if not the biggest team in the world. So I'm expecting to win Real Madrid to Villarreal at 1.91.
I honestly, I can't believe how excited number 1's getting with that 1.91. Martin, I'm surprised you haven't gone for it as well. What reason are you staying away?
I think Real Madrid look really suspect at the moment. I'm not going to bet on them until I see a bit more consistency from them. I had them to win half-time, full-time against Valladolid at home, and they couldn't pull it off. I feel like Villarreal are a better team than Valladolid, to be honest. These teams drew 4-4 last season. It was a great game. Santi Cazorla was on fire in that one. I do think Real Madrid will win, but I'm just not going to risk any money on them until they get in their groove a bit. A lot of new players for Zinedine Zidane to gel into an effective unit, and haven't quite seen enough of them. But I agree that it's a tempting price. I was looking at both teams to score for this one, but the odds are so low. They're about 1.4 or something, so I stayed away.
Okay, what about Real Betis versus Leganes? Real Betis 1.91, Leganes 4.7, the draw 3.5. 3.45 in a place. Looks a bit suspect to me, Martin. Is a draw on the cards?
I'm going for the home win in this one. I think Real Betis have been unlucky with the start of their season. They played Real Valladolid at home, and they should have won it, but they had a player sent off in the 8th minute, so they had to play with 10 men in their first game of the season. Don't think we can read too much into that. Then they came up against Barcelona, who really had a point to prove after that Bilbao defeat, and they were blown away. But, I mean, they've made some very shrewd signings in the summer. They've got Nabil Fekir pulling the strings in midfield. Joaquin still going strong down the right. I think Real Betis should be good enough for a top half finish this season. And I'm unconvinced by Leganes. They lost to Atletico. They lost to Osasuna. I think at home, this is a game that Betis really should be winning. And odds of 1.93 on the home win, they look good to me.
Okay, well, let's move along to the side that just wins to nil. Atletico Madrid 1.45, draw 4.7, and Eibar gigantic 11.9. How have you got the Madrid win? What combination?
Has to be Atletico Madrid win to nil for me. Came off in the first week. I just backed them for a straight win last weekend because I fancied them to pick up a victory on the road against Leganes, and they did. Could have got more value if I'd gone win to nil, but at home, they're so strong defensively. They're just backs to the wall, and they've really got the pace to trouble teams on the counter-attack and on the break now with Joao Felix. So there's perfectly set up for them to sit back, soak up pressure, be efficient in front of goal. I know that Eibar are good going forwards. They've had 2 good campaigns with a lot of goals, but they were held to a stalemate by Osasuna last time out. I'm not really expecting them to trouble Jan Oblak's goal unduly. So I'm just going to stick with Atletico to win to nil until it lets me down. Hasn't done it so far. 1.95 I've got on that.
Cheers, Martin. Will you just, I want to go to number 1 now and get his rundown. And if you can pick a best bet, it doesn't have to be a banker. Don't want you getting like all flustered and getting a bit nervy of having 2 units on. But who are your bets, number 1?
My bets are Sevilla versus Celta de Vigo, both teams to score at 1.71. Athletic de Bilbao versus Sociedad under 2.5 at 1.66. Valencia versus Mallorca under 2.5 at 2.19. And my best pick, I think it is Villarreal versus Real. Real to win at 1.91. I also really like the pick Mauricio said, Atletico to win with no goals. It's a pretty good one. I really like it.
Yeah, 1-0. It does seem
they
to
have
be
a really tough defense.
Oh, yeah. Probably the best in Europe of them and Juventus. Martin, give us a rundown, please, mate.
Yes, I'm going to go for Sevilla and the under 4.5 goals against Celta Vigo, odds of 1.95. Athletic Bilbao to win that tense local derby against Real Sociedad at 2.12. Barcelona with a minus 1.5 Asian handicap at Osasuna at odds of 1.9. Real Betis to beat Leganes at home, 1.93. And Atletico to win to nil at 1.95 versus Eibar.
Cheers, Martin. Thank you, number 1.
Thank you, Flash.
Good luck with them.
Luck
There'll be
too,
sleepless nights in the number 1 household.
I will not let you sleep. I will let you know as soon as these games are done.
You won't need to let me know. I'll be watching for you. I'll be creaking.
Excellent.
Don't you worry about that. So that's La Liga wrapped up. Now we're going to go Bundesliga. Bundesliga, the boys have been absolutely on fire. We've got Alex joining us and Radek. The pair of them have been, I think they went something like 13-5 after 2 weeks. We've had such a good record. First of all, Alex, how are you, sir?
Hello, I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying how you guys combine
That's
together.
what
You know,
like
you and Juan there. I hear myself on the other end.
Oh, yeah, that's okay,
Maybe
Alex.
Rafa
We
can
can
do
see
something
you.
about that.
I'm letting number 1 stay for a couple of minutes just because he can learn a little bit like the Bundesliga as well.
Hey, I need to diversify.
Exactly. He's smashing that La Liga. So I've come over, watch a couple of pros. We've got Alex, we've got Radek. Alex, what's been impressive so far in Bundesliga?
Everything is impressive in Bundesliga. Like always, the exciting matches, thrilling matches every day. Here is also Radek, can tell you more about it, but I love every Bundesliga game. I'm watching them, most of them, I'm catching them on TV. Also Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and absolutely incredible this season. I can't wait for this round of fixtures to happen. I'm expecting a nice season with many teams there at the top of the table fighting each other. It will be amazing. You will see.
Radek, welcome back. It's been a good 2 weeks for you boys.
Yes, 5 out of 6 picks of mine. I think last game there I nailed it. I almost won a 6 accumulator, but I didn't because Augsburg didn't win against Union Berlin, costed me about €800. I would have won. So yeah, that's the point with accumulators. But I'm very positive that we can give some good tips this week again.
Okay, we're going to start off with Mönchengladbach versus Leipzig. Alex, what do you think?
Leipzig, impressive, very impressive. I remember every time when I'm capping RB Leipzig, what Radek was saying at the beginning when we did the outright preview with Natalie before the start of the season. RB Leipzig with Nagelsmann, with another style. They are changing the tactics several times during the match. This is a masterpiece, what I'm seeing from Leipzig. They are absolutely brilliant. Gladbach also a decent side. They bounced back as Radek predicted there, and they won on the road against Mainz. It was a great win from Gladbach, and I'm expecting them to put some problems to Leipzig, but not to beat them. Gladbach are still good with Alasson Plea there, with Brel and Bolo. I think that Brel and Bolo this time will come in the starting 11 because Thuram, the son of Lilian Thuram, if you remember him, the World Cup winner, was not so impressive, the youngster. So I think that Brel and Bolo will come now in the starting 11. And I think that he might also score. He's a fast player. He's a very good player. But I think that Leipzig will win. So I'm going again Leipzig and both teams to score at 3.5. So Leipzig to win and both teams to score at 3.5.
That's a massive start to the coupon, that. 3.5, Leipzig to win away from home and both teams to score. Whew, calm me down a bit, Radek. Wolfsburg versus Paderborn.
Yeah, we had a lot of goals in the first 2 game days, and especially last game day was amazing, as Alex said. We had 4 games with 1-3, 3-1 away winners, and I think there are some teams who are very open in the defense, and Paderborn for sure is one of them. But they play very attractive offense football as well, and their coach is very high emotional. Steffen Baumgart, a former player of Hansa Rostock in the 1990s. So long story short, I think Wolfsburg has a good offense, and Paderborn will get 2 or 3 goals from them. That's why I'm betting on over 3.5 with an odd of 2.05.
Would you put anyone against just putting Wolfsburg in at 1.49 if they was going to make up a parlay of other smaller bets?
No, Paderborn proved that they are a really high tense team who is fighting a lot, and they have a very high team spirit. And I think they can make one or another sensation this year. So I'm not very happy with the very low Wolfsburg odds, but I think both teams are good to score a lot of goals in this game.
Okay, so beware the 2-2 there, or even a bonkers 3-2 away win. Paderborn 6.5. That tells you they're not completely out of the running. I'll stay with you, Radek. Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim.
Yeah, same speaking as before, same game. We have two very offensive teams with a lot of potential to score goals, especially Leverkusen proved it in the first two games, and their coach can't do it in another way because Peter Bosch is he loves football to score. And Hoffenheim's trainer is Alfred Reuter, another Netherlands, another Dutch coach in the Bundesliga, and the two coaches played together in one team when they were active players in Holland. But that's just a side story. I think they love to play the Dutch style of soccer, and that means with three attackers each and over the wings, and so there will be very much potential to score. That's why I'm going here to over 3.5 as well. The odds are a little bit lower than in the first game with 1.96 at Pinnacle when I was looking for it in the afternoon.
Alex, Radek's gone goal crazy. You jumping in with him?
Yeah, but for better words, for better set of odds, I'm going Leverkusen and both team to score at 2.5. Again, I really like this take. Leverkusen at home with Peter Bosch are absolutely another animal. They won 13 of their last 19 home matches in Bundesliga. They scored 49 goals in the process. They did some great transfers. Absolutely amazed with Kerem Demirbay, whom they bought exactly from Hoffenheim. So now if Kerem Demirbay was at Hoffenheim, it was another story. But if it's not Kai Havertz, if it's not Leon Bailey, it will be Karim Bellarabi, it will be Kevin Volland. Absolutely impressive attack from Leverkusen there with Peter Bosch going all in every single match. Unfortunately, Andrej Kramaric again is still injured for Hoffenheim, but I think that Belfodil and Baumgartner should make the difference and score also on the road against Leverkusen. So again, Leverkusen struggling a lot in their defense, but their tactics are to score more goals than their opponents. This is why I'm going Leverkusen and both teams to score at 2.5, you know.
Okay, so we're looking for goals. We're looking for a Leverkusen win. Let's move along. Werder Bremen, 1.75. Draw 4.1. Augsburg, who killed Radek last week, at 5. Alex?
Very impressed with Werder Bremen, despite the fact that they have two defeats in a row. They've lost both matches against Düsseldorf and Hoffenheim. I think that it's time for them to bounce back and to win their first match of the season. I think that the odds are pretty decent at 1.75, like you mentioned, and I'm going with this Werder Bremen will impress. I think that they will finish this season on the top of the table. So maximum 10th place on the standings there. So I think that this is the correct time for them to win their first match in front of their fans. And Augsburg are the perfect opponent for that. Augsburg failed to win against Union Berlin. Imagine that. Union Berlin, who got destroyed by RB Leipzig in the first match. So Werder Bremen at 1.75 for me. Great odds.
Radak, take me to Union Berlin against Dortmund. Union Berlin, 11. Draw 6.1. Dortmund, 1.33. How are we going to find the value?
Yeah. And this odds not, but what I'm looking for is that Borussia Dortmund is a second half team. They proved it again in the game against Cologne when they were down to 1 until the 70th minute. And then they scored 3 goals within 20 minutes. And last season, we always had the last minute goal of Dortmund in the after time or extra time, sorry. And that's why I think one bet which I like is that Dortmund scores more than 2.5 goals away, just the Dortmund team. That means the bet is won if they score 3 goals or more. And another interesting bet is to bet on more than 1.5 goals in the second half for Dortmund. Both bets are around odds of 2.0. And yeah, I would wonder if Dortmund wouldn't score in the second half at least 2 goals, because Union Berlin can stand the offense power of Dortmund maybe one half time. But they showed in the first 2 games that they were not really good enough in the offense, and they had a decent game against Augsburg. But I think Augsburg will do very hard this year, despite they have really good players. But I think they have a lot of problems, and so yeah, Dortmund has to win this game. And I remember last year they played against Union Berlin in the cup game, and they needed the overtime against Union Berlin at their home. So I think my favorite bet is over 2.5 goals for Dortmund, and let's try this.
Yeah, it sounds like an in-play bet. Don't watch the first half. Come back at half-time and you can pick up the pieces. Alex, last one. Eintracht Frankfurt, 1.7. Dusseldorf at 5. The draw at 4.3. Far away, mate.
I have also a bet for Dortmund. I love the plays. I love the Dortmund to score over 1.5 goals in the second half. Union Berlin cannot keep with the attacking pressure of Dortmund. They showed that against RB Leipzig, who are the same quality. They have the same quality as Dortmund, let's say. So yeah, I think that that price is absolutely very good for Dortmund to score 2 goals on their own in the second half. I love Dortmund minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.81 with Unibet. That means that Dortmund should win by at least 2 goals difference away at Union Berlin. And you mentioned Eintracht Frankfurt versus Düsseldorf. Eintracht Frankfurt, as I said, they will struggle to play great football in both competition, Europa League and Bundesliga. They have this problem. They don't have a long bench, and this will affect them throughout the season. I think that they will give away Europa League. They've lost away in France against Strasbourg last Thursday, and I think that, sincerely, it was a touch of let's concentrate on Bundesliga a little bit. But it's also the money, because they are taking 10 million euros if they qualify in the group stages in Europa League. So let's see what they will do this Thursday to improve and to bounce back and to overcome that 1 goal deficit from the first leg. But I think that Düsseldorf are a tough nut to crack. I think that Düsseldorf will put a lot of problems to all the teams. They will score a lot of goals against every single team in Bundesliga. I think that they will catch Eintracht Frankfurt with a lack of fitness after the Europa League matches, and I think that they will contribute on the scoreboard. I'm going for the first Alex Classic in Bundesliga, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.8 with Bet365.
Cheers. Well, just going to have a quick look at. Rafa's going to stick up the record of you boys prior to giving me your best bets. And if you can give me your best bets and your banker after we have a little look at this, Rafa, can you stick it up for me? Look at this: 12 wins, 6 losses, 66%.
This is not the correct one.
4.5
This is
units
not the
of profit.
correct one.
Sorry?
No, this is not the correct one. It's around 10.0 units of profit.
Okay, that was La Liga.
That was the La Liga one.
Yeah, that's because of that was because of number 1, see? That was because number 1 was bringing it down. Listen, don't worry about that. Why don't you just give me your best bets, Radek?
Okay, Wolfsburg Paderborn over 3.5 at 2.05. Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim over 3.5 at odds of 1.96, and Borussia Dortmund over 2.5 away goals at odds of 2.0.
Alex, fire away.
So I have Gladbach versus Leipzig. Leipzig to win and both teams to score at 3.5. I have Leverkusen to win and both teams to score against Hoffenheim at 2.5. I have Dortmund minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 1.81. I have Werder Bremen to beat Augsburg at 1.75. And I have Eintracht versus Düsseldorf, Alex Classic there at 1.8. And I will add one more because I forgot to add it on my list. Freiburg to win with Drono bet at 1.83 against FC Köln. And my banker for this round of fixtures is Leverkusen versus Hoffenheim. Leverkusen to win and both teams to score at 2.5.
Cheers, Alex. Thanks, Radek. Good luck over the weekend and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Keep up the good work. 5 out of 6 last week. Try and do a little bit better, eh? English humour, Radek. Crack a smile. Come on.
I didn't understand you, to be honest.
I'm saying that 5 out of 6 is not good enough. We need 6 out of 6.
Yeah, I will try, but I never play this accumulators for curiosity, just for fun. And I think I stick to Alex picks and mine picks.
Yeah, I wasn't
you're doing very good.
I wasn't talking about accumulators. I just want you to have 6 winners. May all your bets be winners.
Let's do it.
Cheers. We'll see you again next week. That was Alex and Radek. Now we're going to move on. We're going to go Serie A, Italians. If I told you in week 1, the boys went 8-2. 8-2. That is serious, serious stuff. Now we're going to see Chef Michael. How are you, sir? Yeah, you like that 8-2 start, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a great start to Serie A. It was a good week. I was watching all these matches, and the action that we were seeing in Serie A this week kind of thought I was watching a Bundesliga game. I mean, we had goals all over the place. I mean, attacking, and it was a great weekend for Serie A.
We don't mind that, Alex. We love the goals in Serie A. It's not renowned for its having its goals. Do you think we're going to see it continue this season?
Yeah, I think that only Juventus disappointed a little bit because just 1-0 there. We found another Benevento team whom to fade every single match. That is Lecce, the newly promoted side Lecce, who conceded 4 goals against Inter Milan. Inter Milan with a crack of the opener, with Lukaku scoring his first goal on his debut on Serie A, with Candreva scoring the goal of the year. I think that you should watch that because Candreva killed with that goal. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was a nice show. AS Roma with 3-3 against Genoa. Torino and Atalanta, as expected, they are scoring always. They don't have the Italian kind of football that we know from the 10, 15 years ago, Catenaccio and stuff like that, doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, well, we're going to start off with Milan versus Brescia. Milan 1.49, draw 4.5, and Brescia 8.5, Chef Michael.
Yeah, Brescia is back in Serie A. They kept a clean sheet over the weekend against Cagliari. They got their goal on a nice penalty, but they came into that game. They had a good confidence about it. They attacked. They had many chances to go up, maybe 2 or 3 goals, but they had two goals ruled out offsides to VAR. VAR striking again early in Serie A. But now they're on the road 2 consecutive weeks to AC Milan. I think this is going to be a tough ask of them to go in there and try to get a result. Milan like to keep things tight at home. They control possession. They like to keep the score low. 10 out of their last 15 have went under 2.5. I think this is going to be a tough spot. I think AC Milan dominates this from the beginning. I'm going to go AC Milan and over 1.5 at 1.8.
1.8. Alex, take us on. Atlanta versus Torino. Atlanta 1.66, Torino 5.9, and the draw 4.1. Another home win?
If we are thinking about Torino's Europa League experience against Wolves, They've lost the first match 3-2 at home. Now they're traveling to England to play Wolves. That will be a very, very tough match for Torino. Atalanta are a really good side. Atalanta came back from 2 goals down against Spal to beat them 3-2. If it wasn't Duvan Zapata, it was Luis Muriel from Sevilla. A great transfer for Atalanta, a transfer for Champions League for Atalanta. I think that it will be a home win, but when these two sides are meeting, are facing each other, we will see goals. So the Alex Classic for me in Serie A, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 2.1 with Bet365.
Okay, Lazio versus Roma, the Rome derby. Lazio 2.25, draw 3.5, Roma 3.3. Are we going to see our first draw, Chef Michael?
It's very possible. I mean, expecting goals in this match, just like in the last one. Lazio won their match over the weekend, scoring 3 goals. I mean, Roma obviously had 3-3 draw with Genoa. I see nothing but goals and at least both teams to score here. So both teams to score and over 2.5 at 1.8 for me looks good. Lazio's 5 of their 5 last games have went over 2.5. Roma's 5 of their last 5 also went over 2.5. So I see nothing but goals here. Give me both teams to score and over 2.5.
Okay, that's the old Alex Classic once again. Cagliari versus Inter Milan. Cagliari 6, Inter Milan 1.7. Alex, take me away.
2 units play on this match. Inter absolutely amazing in their first game against Lecce, as I said. Cagliari failed to beat a newly promoted side, Brescia. Brescia, tough side to play. So also Cagliari had their chances to score in that match, but they failed. Inter should maintain the pressure from the first match, should extend their great performance in Serie A, should easily add, in my opinion, 3 more points to their season tally and stay there up as much as they can, because that's what they have to do right now, because Juventus will win match by match, you know. So this is what Inter should do after they invested so much money. I think that Lukaku will be one of the great strikers this season in Serie A. He's made for Serie A. He's there when you need him. So Inter at 1.7, banker of the week for the Italian Serie A.
Yeah, Chef Michael, banker of the week, Alex says at 1.7. I bet you've got something a bit bigger than 1.7 though.
I got 1.7 as my banker also, but I also am taking Inter and over 1.5 at 2.15. This Inter side is just playing with so much confidence right now. Antonio Conte, you know, they've got them out there playing with such swagger and confidence. I think these are the type of results they need to build on to crack into that top 2, maybe top 3. So yeah, it's Inter all the way. I'm going to be on Inter for a while. Like I said last week, this is the bet on team for me. And Inter, I got Inter straight win at 1.74 and Inter and over 1.5 at 2.15.
Alex, Genoa at home to Fiorentina. Genoa 2.5, draw 3.5, Fiorentina 2.8. The prices are saying you can't split them. Can you?
Yeah, you can split. Yeah, but both of them are absolutely amazing in the first game. Fiorentina very unlucky to lose that match against Napoli. The VAR in action again in the Italian Serie A. The VAR, I'm telling you, also in the Premier League, also in La Liga, will kill us many matches. Who is? I never like this win to nil bet. Now even more with the VAR in action, because VAR might give you a hand in the penalty area, might give you, I don't know, something very weird. Yeah, I will not play that anymore from now on, even when Atletico Madrid are playing. But that's another thing. So I think that we will see an exciting match. Genoa very good at home. Fiorentina should have huge problems with this Genoa side. We will see goals, over 2.5 goals for me at 1.75 with Betfair.
Okay, and just finish us off. Sassuolo 2.35 at home to Sampdoria at 3.1. The draw 3.5. I think that price has got to be wrong on Sassuolo. I couldn't have them at 2.35. Don't tell me you are.
Yeah, I think that Sampdoria kicked off their season on the left foot there. They failed to score in the first match. I think that they had their opportunities against Lazio, but very small ones, not existing. But right now, I think that against Sassuolo, they will give a better performance. If you ask me about who will win this match, I would say that Sassuolo has the first chance to win this match. But I will skip the winners market and I will just play the goals market, both teams to score for me at 1.61.
1.61, okay. Chef Michael, run me down your free bets, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I got AC Milan and over 1.5 goals in the match at 1.8. I have both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at 1.8 in Lazio and Roma. And Inter Milan straight win at 1.74. And I'm going to change up the banker since Alex is on it too. I'm going to go Inter and over 1.5, 2.15 as banker.
Top man. Alex?
I'm going Atalanta versus Torino, Alex Classic, both teams to score and the over 2.5 at 2.1. I'm going Inter banker at 1.72 units on that. Genoa Fiorentina over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.75. And Sassuolo Sampdoria, both teams to score at 1.61. Again, expecting exciting matches in Italy. Again, Bundesliga and Italy should deliver this week for us.
Okay, just before I let you go, thanks, Chef Michael. We've got Premier League punters coming up on Thursday. Natalie's away at a meeting. So, Alex, will you join myself and Martin Green on Thursday?
Absolutely. If Juan is not coming, absolutely delighted to be there.
No.
And thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I would do it officially, you know. So, yeah, no number one at the Premier League. I mean, listen, footsteps, little ones for number one. I'll bring him back on next week. But listen, keep it up, boys. 8-2 last week. Serie A. Go and smash it. We'll be cheering you on. Alex, we'll see you on Thursday. Chef Michael, keep up the great work, mate.
See you guys. Thank you.
Cheers, boys. Okay,
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Tomorrow is US Open with Sneeze and James, UFC with Dave and Jason, Premier League punters on Thursday, followed by the lower leagues with the return of Big Man and myself at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Costa Rican. Until then, see you soon.